Sorry you're always in the shop by yourself.
That's okay. Look at what I'm working on. Isn't it pretty?
It's so pretty. It really is so pretty. I love all those colors.
Yeah, I didn't know if I was going to, but then...
I think I love them because you wouldn't expect to put them together.
Yeah. It's out of my normal color palette, definitely. Because I always go for more blues and turquoises.
Yes. So pretty. Cute little project bag. Hey pals. Thanks for joining me today. It is July 13th, Friday the 13th. I am glad you made your way here. So I am Paige the Framer, and this is my podcast. It's the one with Paige the Framer. That truck was just a UPS truck, so I apologize for the sound. I'm sitting right near the front windows of the shop, so the traffic may be a bit loud. So anyway, I'm Paige the Framer, and this is my podcast. It is a podcast mostly about the things that happen here at Frame and Fiber, my picture framing and yarn shop in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. You will also, on occasion, lately it's been less frequent, but hopefully I'll get back into the swing of taking you out with me on some adventures. I like to visit other yarn shops, and I like to sit with friends and makers and chat with them and bring them to you, introduce you to them. And I like to go hiking and kayaking. So a lot of that stuff will end up in the episodes here on this channel. So yeah, thanks for joining. Today we will be talking mostly knitting and yarning and frame and fiber. So this is episode 25. And I did record some of what I want to talk to you about yesterday. And I kind of skipped a couple weeks. I took a couple weeks off from podcasting, so when I recorded yesterday, I was a little bit off. I didn't remember to say half the stuff that I wanted to say. So if you, like I said, are new, welcome. And if you would like to follow along with me outside of YouTube, you can find me as Paige the Framer on Instagram, Ravelry, and Periscope. And my frame shop and yarn shop, or the website, is FrameAndFiber.com, and I do sell some of this yarn and picture framing on the internet on Etsy, so you can find my shop there. It is FrameAndFiberNJ on Etsy. Oh, that was a squeaky chair. I am using show notes today and I have no place to put them, so I'll be looking in all kinds of weird directions. So I want to talk to you about a few things that have been happening and things that are coming up. First is last night was my virtual knit night that I host. It's once a month on the third Thursday of the month. The next one coming up is August 9th. It's at 7 p.m. For more information, look on Facebook for the group page for VKN with Paige the Framer. That's where you can join up the group to get the information about these knit nights. So I hope that you will feel comfortable in joining us. I do want to thank Tina and Ruth and Liz and Coletta for joining me last night. We had a small group, but it was kind of fun. Sometimes we have a big group. Last night was a small group, and it was everyone kind of came in and out. I assumed that would happen because it's summer and we all have so many things happening. To the 4 of you girls, thanks for joining. Ruth, it was so lovely to meet you. And Tina, I'm so glad you came back for a second time. So yes, to all of you who are interested in a virtual knit night, we get together once a month and we chat and knit. If you are nervous about joining for the first time, I don't blame you. I was nervous the first time I did a VKN too. But everyone in our group, first of all, everyone in our group was at one time the newbie, so we totally understand, so don't feel uncomfortable, and even if you do, we'll help you through it. So join the Facebook group and I hope to see you on our next VKN. Also, for you guys who are local, or for you who are not so local but are planning on visiting the Jersey Shore for the summer, I host beach knitting on Tuesday nights, and I have some footage which I will put in very soon. Or is it that way? I forget. Anyway, Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. in Bay Head, New Jersey. It's really fun and it's so nice and relaxing to end your day on the beach knitting with knitters. It's so much fun. We had a great time this time. There was only 3 of us. It was me and Mindy and Tracy, right? It was just the 3 of us. Yes, just the 3 of us. And it was a lovely day. It felt like a typical New Jersey beach day because there were lots of people on the beach, which as up until this point hasn't really happened. So we had a great time. It was beautiful. I hope you like my little snippet. Actually, or maybe you saw the little snippet. I may have put it in the beginning of this video. So I think I put it in the beginning. Oh, I didn't put it in the beginning. Guys, I didn't take video this time. Motorcycles. I didn't take video this time. It was the video that you saw, which I'm putting in the front. I'm going to put in the beginning. Was from a couple weeks ago when it was just Mary and I on the beach. So yeah. Oh no, more people came. Tracy came that day too. Mary and I were the first ones there. So that was beach knitting. All of that to say, oh my gosh. All of that to say, if you're local or not so local and coming down for a visit, make it a Tuesday and come knit with us on the beach. More information about that can be found on my website. And you can always leave a comment below if you have any questions. Also, for you guys who are local, my class schedule is up on the website, FrameAndFiber.com. There are a bunch of knitting classes, a couple crocheting classes, and some sewing classes listed for the summer. And as always, we offer knitting, crocheting, and sewing lessons for beginners. So please give that a look. You can find that on my website. There is a tab, a drop-down tab that says events, and in there is listed all of the classes that we have coming up. So locals, check it out and maybe come take a class with us. Okay, so the next segment that I am going to be sharing with you is some knitting. So let's get into it. I want to talk about the sweater that I'm making and some of the steps I took to picking out the sweater. So first off, let's talk about the yarn I'm using. Oh my gosh, it's such lovely yarn. I am using Green Mountain Spinnery, their Cotton Comfort yarn. It is beautiful. It is 20% organic cotton and 80% fine wool. And I bought this in 2 different places. The first place, which is this color, I'm using 4 colors. So the first color is this really pretty, I don't know, like a, I don't even know how to describe it. They call it suede. I'm gonna say it's a greenish, brownish, mossy, olivey color. It's super pretty. So I bought 4 skeins of this when I was in Vermont with Paul Miller. We went to Burlington and we visited Nido, which is now a closed shop. It's no longer there, but it was a great shop. I loved it. And so they had a bunch of the Green Mountain spinnery, and so I bought this, but I thought, oh, I'll buy 4 skeins, that'll be enough for a sweater. Except that this, they were 50 gram skeins, not 100 gram skeins. So that wasn't enough. So what I ended up doing was last year in Maryland Sheep and Wool, I went to the Green Mountain Spinnery booth and I bought more, and these are the colors that I bought. This is Yarrow, Natural, and Mint. So those 8 skeins, I may be buying 1 more skein of suede just because I don't want to be short, and I used a lot of the yarn for swatching, which is fine. I can take the swatches apart, but so anyway, so the first sweater that I picked out to use this is a DK weight yarn. So the first pattern that I picked out is an Elizabeth Smith pattern called Passing Showers, and the gauge for that pattern, where are my swatches? Let me grab my swatches. So the gauge for that pattern is 20 stitches, 4 inches on a US 6. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this is my swatch. And you can see me through that. It's not the most lovely of stitches. This was the swatch I think I talked to you guys about the last podcast or the episode before about my pearls and my knits not being uniform, and you can see that there, how they're just not. You can see the stripiness of my pearls and my knits, so I wasn't happy with this fabric. Also, it was 20 stitches on a US 6, and I did not get 20 stitches. I believe I had, I think I had 18. I forget what it was, but I didn't meet gauge. So I went down a needle size. I went to a 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, this is my 5. Oops. And that's a much better fabric. It's still a little bit see-through, but I liked it a whole lot better. And then this, you can see that my gauge between knitting and purling was much more consistent. This was the swatch that I purled the Norwegian style. Like right down here is where I started switching, and then you can see as I progressed that I really got comfortable. So for now on, knitting stockinette flat, I'll be using that method of purling because it makes for a better fabric for me and more consistent knitting. So I swatched and I liked that, and then I got a little bit, it's a 1-color cardigan that I was going to stripe with all 4 of these, and I was like, after a while, I was like, I don't think stripe is gonna fit this style of cardigan. So then I went and found the Back Shore pullover by Alicia Plummer, and that was it was 18 stitches over 4 inches on a size 8 or size 6 needle. I can't remember which one. I didn't get gauge for that. I have no idea why. It was like the same, you would think I would have. It was an 8. It was an 8. So I didn't get gauge. It was a size 8 needle. That's what you swatched with. Didn't get gauge. So I think for me, and I don't know if you guys are the same, please comment below and let me know how you go about finding the right pattern to go with the right yarn for your attention. So I kind of decided to scrap that sweater. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to do a pullover. Decided I didn't want to have to deal with purling, so I swatched in the round. I absolutely love this fabric that I made. It is, my finger doesn't pop through it. I just love it. It's a really pretty fabric. Isn't it so pretty? Do you see all those flecks of colors in there? Oh, so pretty. So I swatched using, what size needles am I? I'm using my Chowgu needles, and guys, where's my sweater? Oh, it's in my lap. So I'm knitting this on a US 8. The pattern calls for it's 20 stitches over 4 inches on a size 6. For some reason, I can't get gauge compared to what the people get, what the pattern designers get. It just doesn't seem to work for me. So I swatched first. I picked an 8. I swatched, I counted, and then I looked on Ravelry to match that up, my gauge, my stitches per inch, to a pattern. So it was kind of cool because on Ravelry, you know, you can filter, and I filtered by gauge, by stitch, and it was so nice because it came up with all of the patterns that fit my criteria. And it doesn't matter what needle size that the pattern writer uses because I got gauge. And I got row gauge too. Is that what we call it? Row gauge, stitch gauge, row gauge. So I think that's how I'm going to have to go about this. I think I'm going to have to swatch with yarn, find a fabric I like, and then when I find the fabric I like, figure out what that gauge is, and then go from there and find the pattern that matches it. Now, I feel like that's kind of, it doesn't seem like everyone does it that way. It seems like everyone else just picks a pattern and guess gauge. So I'm curious, do you guys do that? Are you guys able to do that? I have questions. I would like to have a conversation with you guys about this. So let me know. I just want to show you my pretty swatch again. So let me know how you go about it. Yeah, so I'm happy with this fabric, and that means I'm super happy with this fabric. So I started oh, the pattern. So I landed on, it's really messy. I landed on Ready for Fall by Isabel Kramer. It's this sweater right there. And I think it's gonna be really pretty. So obviously this is a 2, if you can't tell, this is a 2 color pattern, and I have 4 colors. So I'm knitting with the suede for the body, and then when I get down here, instead of just doing the color work with the main color and the contrast, I'm gonna do a contrast solid background, which I think I'm going to do the background in my gold. And then these circles, I'm going to stripe them. So it'll be, there's four rows of circles, and I'm going to do 2 in the cream and 2 in the mint. And then depending on how much yarn I have left over, which is why I might buy another skein of this, the suede, because if I don't have enough of the contrasting colors, what I would like to do, let me put it to you this way, what I'd like to do is on the cuff, I would like to do the same thing, but maybe just 2 circles. I think that would be kind of cool. So it depends on how much of this I have left over. If I have enough, that's what I'll do, and then I won't need another skein of suede. If I don't have enough of that, I'd rather just buy one of these and just finish the sleeves plain. So I will fill you in on that. So this is a yoked sweater. it's a yoked sweater without any color work on the yoke. I didn't realize that people did that. I don't know why, but this is the first time I'm doing, that was a really loud truck, I'm super sorry. Super sorry, I'm just sorry. So this is the first time that I'm actually doing a yoked sweater. I've done raglans, and I've done inset sleeves, and I've done, what else have I done? I feel like there's another style that I've done. Anyway, oh, drop shoulder, I've done that. So, yeah. I tried it on this morning, and it fits great. I did think I was going to have an issue because I am a bit top heavy. But so far so good. I do think, I really like that the pattern has the short row shaping at the back here. But then, because you can see how lovely that collar is, and it fits really nicely. It's nice and high up top so that it does not fall. But then the other thing, right before I split for the sleeves, it called for more short row shaping in the back. And I found that curious because I didn't really, like, I'm not sure, like, why would you do that? So I'll see how it fits. I'm assuming maybe it just gives you more length in the back. I have no idea. So I was thinking that I was going to have to maybe do some increases along the bust because of my size, but I am trying to do a 3 to 4 inch positive ease with this, so hopefully it won't really matter too much. So yeah, there we are. I don't know, I'm 3 inches down from the arm, and I have to go to 11 inches before I start the color work. So yeah, let me know if you have any thoughts on my swatches, my 3 swatches. Let me know how you will go about matching up a yarn, a specific yarn, to a pattern. Just curious to see how you guys do it. Cool. So the next segment, we are going to be talking about my picture frames and the fact that I am going to be vending at the New Jersey Sheep and Wool Festival in September 8th and 9th. I am excited. I'm also nervous because it's my first time doing a festival. I have helped out at Needles Up twice now, so I kind of see how things work. And I won't be alone. Allison will be doing it with me, and she's a pro. She's done lots of vending events. So if you guys are planning on heading to the New Jersey Sheep and Wool Festival, I will see you there, and I'll be bringing my picture frames, my fabric wrapped mats, which I need your help with. Help me think of a name. I talk about it more in the next segment. I am launching my picture frame, my knit frame. I think I'm gonna I still haven't come up with a name. This is why I haven't launched it. And I've kind of just been like, what do they call it, a soft opening? Oh gosh, I'm so out of control right now. It's not out of control. Oh my gosh, start over. So the fabric wrapped mats that I make, the little picture frames, I haven't really pursued a lot of promotion of them because I wasn't sure if I was going to stick with making them for several reasons, which I will not bore you with. But one of the reasons that I haven't actually promoted it is because I haven't come out with a name for them. I was thinking of calling them knit frames or knit something because I'm using fabric scraps from Jody Brown, who is Mrs. Brown. She makes Mrs. Brown's bags. She's one of the grocery girls. You guys all know who she is. I've been buying her scraps. So she makes her project bags, and she has pretty big scraps that she really can't use. They're too small to make a bag. And so she has a ton of them. So I've been buying them from her, and then I use them to make my frames. I should probably be showing them to you, right? Hold on, I'll go get them. Okay, so you can see a lot of, if you check my Instagram, PaigeTheFramer on Instagram, I have a bunch of pictures on there, posts on there of me making these, you know, showing the scraps before they turn into the frames, all of that kind of stuff. So this is one framed up, which is on my Instagram. That's one that is all framed up and ready to go. Right, you guys can see that. That is the corner, so you can see what the corner looks like. And then here's a bunch that I have just finished, and I am just now mounting them to their backer boards. And I'm such a cheesy human being, but I'm putting my little pictures on the inside that, you know, just kind of promotes them. So I haven't come up with a fun, cute, quirky, catchy name for these little guys. Knit frames. I mean, knit frames is good because they do match what's happening here. This is Mrs. Brown's knitted fabric. But I am also going to be using other scraps from other people who use maybe fiber related fabrics or just really cute fabrics, and so they won't all be knitted mats. So yeah, if you guys can think of a name, if it pops in your head, leave a comment below. But I'm getting a ton of these done because I will be doing the New Jersey Sheep and Fiber Festival in September, and I'm doing that festival to sell and promote my little frames, my mats. These are mats. I'm going to sell the mats separately and some framed ones too, so that way, you know, they're ready-made. So if you don't want to spend the money on a frame that I made, and you know, rather just buy the mat and then go and pick up a ready-made at a craft store, they will just be by themselves. They're on my Etsy shop, so if any of you are interested, you can go check out my Etsy. And what else did I want to say about that? Oh yeah, so at the sheep show, I'm going to be doing these, and I'm going to be bringing some of the yarns that I sell, the indie dyed girls who are not local to me. So like, for instance, you guys see that one? Luna Gray. I'll be bringing Luna Gray Fiberworks with me to the show, and Legacy Fiber Arts, and the Periwinkle Sheep. So some of the indie dyed that I carry, I won't have a lot, but it's just a sampling so people can see what I offer down here. And then Allison will be coming with me with all of her hand-sewn project bags and accessories. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm a little bit nervous because I just made a decision to do it yesterday. So it gives me 2 months to get ready, which is really last minute when you're doing a festival. It is a low-key festival, so I don't have to worry too much. But anyway, so I have a lot of frames to make, a lot of mats to wrap, and I would like to come up with a cute little name. So if you can think of anything. Otherwise, right now I'm just saying the size and that they're made by me, Paige the Framer. Paige the Framer mats? I don't know, whatever. Anyway, if you can think of anything, please comment below. Thanks. Are you guys ready for the announcement for the winner of the giveaway? Cool, stay tuned. It's in the next episode. No, it's not. It's not in the next episode. It's in this episode. It's in the next segment. Okay, so I don't know if you remember, but a few weeks ago I had announced a subscriber giveaway for the YouTube channel, which is over 500 subscribers, and on Instagram I'm over 1,500 followers. Anyway, so I closed the thread. I thank you all who participated. There were 56. Sorry, I have my laptop here so I can pick, yeah, 56 entries. So thank you guys. That was really cool. You will be winning. Sorry, I put this in a bag to keep it pretty. You're winning these 3 skeins of yarn. We've got Legacy Fiber Arts and Moonstone Dyeworks and Sweet Sparrow yarns. These are beautiful skeins. If you want to hear more about them and the makers behind them, you can check out the episode before this one. So I want to pick the winner now. I have no idea who the winner is, so let me do a random number generator. What did I say? We had 56. Okay. Random number generator, 1 through 56. All right, so the number is 54. Let's see, who is post 54? 56, 55, 54. 54. Okay, so DamienBlue is the winner. Anne, her first name is Anne, and she is from Canada, Windsor, Ontario. DamienBlue, I'll put that down here so you guys can see the name. So yay, thanks for participating. Oh, what was your answer? Let's see, what did you say you wanted to make? So Damien, or Anne would like to, oh, Anne would like to try the Suburban wrap, which is the wrap that I made, my three color wrap, which is right here. And that's so cool that you want to make the same. I loved making this. That's not true. I didn't love it in the beginning, but I ended up loving it. So yeah, there's my Suburban wrap. So I hope, Anne, that you do end up making it. I hope you make it. And I hope you weave in your ends, because I have not yet. It's been done for a month now, and I haven't woven in my ends. Yes, and I'm proudly displaying it to my customers with the ends not woven in. So Anne, congratulations. I will be gifting you that, that pattern. So even if you don't see this, you'll see that in your Ravelry library, and that'll be a clue that you won. So thanks for joining. So for this next segment, I will be staying with you. It will not be Paige from yesterday. I wanted to show and share some samples that I received from some of my viewers and some of my customers, some of my internet pals. Or let's just change all of that and say some samples from some really lovely people. My battery's gonna die. Yeah, samples from some lovely ladies out there who have taken time out of their schedules to knit samples for my shop. Thank you so much. So first up is a sample knit by Nicole, who is Evelyn789 on Ravelry. Nicole, thank you so much. Nicole is local to me. She lives a couple towns over, and she knit for me the Floats Cowl by Elizabeth Smith. I feel like I'm a really big Elizabeth Smith fan. I feel like I'm always knitting her stuff or asking people to knit her stuff. So this is the cowl. Oh my gosh. Okay, she made this for me using Cascade. Oh my gosh. Cascade Pure Alpaca in a red color. Cascade doesn't put the color names on their bands, so I can't remember the color. Oh my gosh, this is a dream. Now, I'm not the biggest alpaca fan because it bought like the flyaways. Oh, they kill my nose. However, it's so squishy and soft, and it's gorgeous. If you don't have a problem like I do with the flyaways, then you would love alpaca. So this is, like I said, the Floats Cowl by Elizabeth Smith. And let me just show you the lovely texture. Oh my gosh. Isn't that gorgeous? It's such a beautiful piece. I'll probably block this before I put it out, and this is something that I'll be putting out closer to the fall. I have a whole plan of displaying a bunch of cowls, so that's one of them. Thank you so much, Nicole. Okay, next up are more samples knit for me by Lee. Lee, thank you so much. Lee is mamagiff on Ravelry, and she has knit me so many samples now. I am spoiled beyond belief by her, and I get to meet her for the first time in September on my knitting pipeline retreat in Maine when I go. I'm super excited to meet her. I'm going to hug the crap out of her. Okay, so the first project she made for me is this gorgeous, gorgeous hat. It is, I think you guys probably can tell which hat it is just by looking at it. It's the Turn a Square hat by Jared Flood. She made this for me out of Cascade 220 striped with Malabrigo Rios. Oops, where are you now? Oh, there we go. Look at those stripes, aren't they gorgeous? Love it. So this hat fits me perfectly. Like, I might want to keep this one for me. Am I allowed to do that? Am I allowed to keep samples that you guys made for me? No, but isn't it beautiful? Okay, so that is that first one, and then this one. It's the Graham hat by Jennifer Adams. Yes, Jennifer Adams, the Graham hat. All of this you can find on Ravelry. Oh my gosh, you guys. Maybe, Lee. That's a great hat. Let me show you the texture. I think it's a slip stitch. Oh my gosh, look at that beautiful texture. It's such a lovely slouchy hat. This she made out of Cascade pure alpaca. You see a theme coming around here, guys. Again, I don't know the colorway because Cascade doesn't put their names of the colors on the bands, but it's a really pretty color, and I love the hat. I'll be ordering pom-poms for the fall, and this is going to get a really dark charcoal gray pom-pom. Thank you, Lee, so much. I really appreciate all of your help, everyone who makes samples for the shop. I have more samples I'd like to show. If you guys have knit me a sample and I have not talked about it on the podcast yet, send me a note, because I may have forgotten, because maybe you guys haven't met me yet, but I'm kind of flaky and ditzy in the brain. Scatterbrained, I'm scatterbrained. But I would love to give you all a shout out. So I have some, I'm looking at a few now that I will be talking about on the podcast. I want to do a couple each time. So thank you. Thank you everyone who helps me make the samples. If you are interested in making a sample for the shop, you can follow me on Ravelry. Can you believe my battery died right like at the end of this thing? Anyway, I think I was telling you about the samples on Ravelry. So follow my Ravelry page and Frame and Fiber, the group page on Ravelry, and I have listed a lot of the samples that I'd like made for the shop. It's not a comprehensive list. I do want to update it to reflect some newer patterns, some tastes that have changed. I have listed some yarns that I don't sell anymore, and I haven't listed some yarns that I do have. So if you have any suggestions, pattern suggestions that would be great, you think, for a shop sample, I would love your input. So go to Ravelry. I have a forum that says sample knitting for the shop or something like that. I'll put the name of the thread down here. But in that thread, you can contact me about making a sample, about ideas that you have that would be good samples, that kind of stuff. And if you have made something for me and I haven't showed it on the podcast and you'd like to see it on the podcast, you can definitely leave me a message there too, or private message me if you feel better about that. Was I just talking a mile a minute? I think I was. Let me take some more water. This is a mug that Allison bought for me. Allison is Allison of Daisy Lane Designs. She's a very talented sewer or sewist, whichever one you prefer. This is a topographical drawing of Slide Mountain, which is a mountain. I think it's the tallest mountain in the Catskills in New York, and it's one of my favorites. I love it because I live in New Jersey, and where we live, it's a sandbar. I live on a sandbar. We're flat. We have some hills, but pretty much it's flat. And I love hiking, and I love going to New York State. It's my favorite place to go on vacation because it's easy to get to. I can drive there in 3 to 6 hours depending where I'm going, and I can just escape into the woods and hike. So this was one of my favorites because it's close to home, but it's high enough that it hits the alpine line, the freeze line, the tree line, whatever you call it. And it smells like Christmas up there. And it's beautiful because it's rocky and mossy and evergreeny, and it's incredible. So Allison bought that for me. And I'm drinking water. And why am I telling you all of this? It's time to go, right, guys? Okay, so thanks so much for joining me today and spending a bit of time with me. I think that's everything we have to say. If you're new, please subscribe. I would love to have you subscribe. And if you're not new, if you've watched the podcast before, just check to see if you're subscribed, because maybe you're not, and maybe I would love it if you did. And as always, if you do like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I've heard other people say that the more thumbs up and likes I get, the higher up in the queue my episodes will show. Maybe that's true. I have no idea, but anyway, I think that's it for now. I'm probably forgetting something or someone. There's probably an amazing human being who has done something sweet for me that I'm forgetting to say thank you. So thank you to all of you, because the support and love that you guys show to me every single day is so appreciated. I thank you so much, and I hope you feel it back. I hope you feel some of it in return. I'm fidgeting with my camera, so it's time for me to go. I'm gonna go home now and put my feet up and knit. All right, guys, bye.